Let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 88 of a series. So we've been following along with Cure Autism Now and their activities in the late 90s, and I'm going to pick up with an update that they shared about their activities in this era so you can hear what they're doing and what's going on, especially with things like pilot studies, doctors they're working with, or researchers, and there's just so much going on all at once. It's astounding, but let me share. So there's going to be a lot of information, names, programs, studies, grants, things like that being thrown out here, but this information is available online, either in the Wayback Machine, the archive, the Internet Archives under cureautismnow.org, and maybe look in the 2099 era for it, or you can go to internationalbadassactivist.org and just do a search in the search bar for updates on Cure Autism Now, and the headline that will pull up that I'm sharing from is Updates on Cure Autism Now Activity 1996 through 1999. So I'm going to start with the entry that's for October 1997 and then move my way up the timeline here and share a bit more about the activities of Cure Autism Now. So it says here in October 1997, Cure Autism Now, or CAN, joined with the John Douglas French Alzheimer's Foundation to sponsor advances in the social brain. This exciting program, it says, gave researchers from the fields of autism and Alzheimer's an opportunity to work collaboratively for the purpose of exploring newly discovered relationships among the brain, genes, and behavior. Participants included leaders in cognitive psychology, behavior, neurology, genetics, and molecular biology. Shares here, Air Force One, produced by CAN co-founder Jonathan Shaystack, premiered in July 1997 with a star-studded benefit that raised over $270,000 and immeasurable awareness for CAN. In March of 1997, CAN sponsored the first CAN Consensus Conference. This important meeting was held for the urgent purpose of bringing together the top experts in the autism clinical and research communities to establish a consensus statement providing guidelines for a medical workup in autism. In March of 1998, the CAN Consensus was published in CNS Spectrum's journal. This document now serves as a guideline for clinicians and families seeking medical testing and care for individuals with autism. In November 1997, CAN celebrated its 2-year anniversary with a cocktail party hosted by CAN board member Marianne Lynch and her husband Peter. Honorary board member Renee Russo joined us in Pasadena for an evening that helped raise over $200,000 for the AGRE. Now that stands for the Autism Genetic Resource Exchange. This is a DNA repository that still exists today. So in both 1997 and 1998, the LA Marathon helped us bring one step closer to the answers. Thank you to the participation of Mark Adelman, president of the California Bar Association, his wife, Erin Kinney, PhD, and Ruth Ann Aull, maybe? 1998's event brought in over $25,000. Guests of the cocktail party held to kick off the run were Harry Hamlin, NFL referee Mike Carey, California State Assemblyman Robert Hertzberg, and gubernatorial candidate Jane Harman. Right, so now we're starting to get names thrown out. Big names. Here we go. San Francisco Bay was the site of the 1998 CAN Cup, an extraordinary event put on by One Design 48's Andrea and John Bertrand. The 1999's event was held May 1st, 1999 in Baltimore, Maryland, where It was a centerpiece of One Design 48's Chesapeake Grand Prix and the feature of the Baltimore Waterfront Festival. So here we go. More marketing, of course. So in July 1998, this one's, listen, we got some familiar names coming out here. In July 1998, CAN co-founder Portia Iverson and CAN scientific coordinator Dr. Dan Geschwind traveled to Nice, France to participate in a collaborative autism genetics research group meeting sponsored by PARIS, a European consortium working on the genetics of autism. And that Dr. Dan Geschwind, we've got long history of their work in autistic history, long history. You're going to hear that name more as we go on in the future. And it'll be the same with a lot of these researchers. You're going to hear them on repeat after a while once they're introduced. All right, and so it talks about ex-Seattle Mariner Bill Kruger and his wife Jo, parents of Chanel, hosted a night for autism, a benefit dinner and auction in Seattle. That was back on June 20th in 98 that year. CAN was the grateful recipient of all proceeds of this wonderful evening, which netted over $75,000. So you see they're starting to build up with the celebrities, the name recognition, the fundraisers, things like that. So for 2 years now, the residents of Madison, Illinois, I believe, and surrounding areas have been helping CAN in our race for the cure. The cure through participation in ICAN 5K Run Walk for Autism, a day of fun, family, and fundraising. This year's event is scheduled October 21st, 99. Oh, here comes some more big names. More big names. Yeah, so we're going to start seeing big names in these celebrity-type fundraising events. This one is Celebrity Golf Classics that was held, let's see, it says Los Angeles, Southern New Jersey, Chicago, and Vancouver were all sites for CAN Celebrity Golf Classics held through the summer of 1998. These events were an incredible means of raising funds and awareness. Also to be seen as connecting with parents and bringing them into our organization belief system and funnel them through into our forums online. I'm just saying that seems to be what autism awareness means for a lot of these organizations and connecting with parents. All right, so who was there? They had the privilege to have the participation of celebrities including Dweezil Zappa, Bill Smitrovic, Matt Adler, Joe Mantegna, Kathy Lee Crosby, Bill Pullman, Jack Scalia, sorry, I'm terrible with names, Grant Tinker, Scott Wolf, Ronnie Cox, and Glenn Foley, just to name a few. It says here, CAN, the National Institutes of Health, and NAAR, that's the National Alliance for Autism Research, joined together in October 1998 for an historic event. The first ever animal model workshop in autism, building animal models for autism through translational neuroscience research, brought together the world-class experts in neuroanatomy, genetics, mouse genetics, primate behavior, brain imaging, and developmental biology to formulate a plan for the development of this cutting-edge methodology within the field of autism. So Cure Autism Now and some of these other parent organizations are starting to band together. You can see the fronts in the autism community, science, genetics. Over here we have the Rimland area of complementary alternative medicine being promoted. We won't get into the details of what all that means just yet, but we will going forward in the future. There's so much more to that than most people understand or realize, and it's a lot of information, just like Cure Autism Now has been, but it's important that we understand these fronts. So I'm going to share a bit more of this news in the next video. Thank you for exploring more autistic history with me.